Hello to everybody. Danielle here, and I'm here doing a quick live video with you on Black Families Travel. Thank you for joining. I'm here with my husband, BJ, my sweet boo thang, and we're going to chat a little bit about our experiences with travel, how it's changed the way we see life and how we experience life with our kids. But before I begin, I want to encourage those of you who join us to please be sure to share this quick video with others, and also spread the news about Black Families Travel. Remember, this page is to give you all kinds of opportunity to get live help with travel agents when it comes to travel, and we like to talk about things that concern Black families, things that we experience, the way we travel, the way we fit in the world, and help us to come into the idea of being more globally minded with our kids. I know that for the most part, everybody who is on this page, you already are curious about travel, and you already know that this is the way you want to experience the world with your children. But sometimes it's easier to know that you're not the only ones who have a new way of thinking or a new way of experiencing the world, and you want to share that with others. So, do you want to say anything, babe?
No, you doing fine. Go ahead.
Okay. So, what I'll do is I'm just gonna start by telling you, I thought it would be important to kind of, first of all, let you know that I'm going to do these lives every Sunday. They may be shorter, they may be longer, but for the most part, 30 minutes is what I'm going to shoot for. And I'm also going to try to make sure that I touch on topics that I see people asking me about, either on the page or through private message. So today I thought I should start by giving a brief background about what got us started with our new way of thinking. Hi, Angie. And why we've kind of reshaped our way of experiencing life with our kids. So I would think it was about 10 years ago. Yeah, I think about 10 years ago. And I mentioned this in the first video. I was on a business trip with a coworker of mine, and we were talking about our families back home because we were out of town. We were actually doing a visit to another location to help monitor what was going on. And I was a young mother with 3. We had just had our son, and we had 2 girls who were toddlers at the time, and I was busy trying to figure out what in the world I'm going to do as far as getting ready for Christmas, because it was in December. Hey, Dexter. It was December, and it was time for us to start buying gifts, for Christmas, at least, that's the thought. And I was determined to go ahead and get that process started, but I hadn't really started shopping or anything. And the lady that I was traveling with, she actually was the daughter of a diplomat for an African country. And I always liked to travel with her because I like to hear her viewpoint on things, because they're so very different from capitalist United States American thoughts. And she was looking at me with a confused face when I was making mention about all the things I wanted to purchase for the kids. I wanted to get, I need to get this new toy for this child, and I wanted to get the pair of shoes for that child. And she said to me, she said, Danielle, why are you worried about getting them things? Why don't you just give them an experience instead? And, she stopped and she talked to me about that, her experience. She had 2 daughters, both of whom were in high school at that time. I'm pretty sure they're grown now, grown, doing their own thing. But at the time, she was talking about taking her oldest daughter, who was 18 and about to graduate from high school. She was going to take her to Switzerland to ski for her birthday. And me, I was thinking, oh, I gotta, throw our oldest a birthday party.
At the pool.
Yeah, at the pool. We're gonna have
Cookout.
a little cookout and
Pizza,
hot dogs, balloons, and all that sort of thing. And what? And then get the gifts. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
And then the gifts. We had all of this idea about what made it important, the birthday important. And just speaking with her, she kind of opened my mind about what was important when it came to showing love to your kids, I guess you could say. I don't know. I guess I was into the thought of saying maybe it's important for me to buy our kids a bunch of stuff and then they'll know we love us. I think subconsciously I knew that's not the way you do it, but I guess I had just bought into it,
I think that, remember we had a conversation about by the time our parents were done getting gifts for the kids, we couldn't even get in the living room.
So it was ridiculous, y'all. It was ridiculous.
Like one big gift and one small gift is what we decided. And so pretty much that's where we were. And when Danielle came home and she shared this with me, I said, she's got a point. Because 6 months to a year from now, those presents will be sitting in the closet or just,
to the wayside, broken to the side.
And so that's when we started to think about it. I think the first trip was we took the kids to the mountains.
Mm-hmm. That was it.
That year, our oldest daughter had gone to the Biltmore.
Yeah.
And we were debating on whether or not to let her go because we were planning on going that Christmas, but we let her go. And we made the agreement that she would just be our tour guide. So when we went to the Biltmore, she was our tour. She did an excellent job, by the way.
Yeah.
And we tested the theory, 2 years afterwards?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did. We tested that theory that day, actually, when we went to the Biltmore for Christmas. Mm-hmm. That was our test because don't forget, just a few months later, we asked the kids, so do you remember what you got for Christmas?
Yeah.
And they were like, I think we got them little something, little stuff. Sorry, I had to turn my light back on. Little stuff, but afterwards they were like, we don't remember about the things, but we remember about the experience. So
Zelia remembered what she got after she thought about it a long time, but Zoe and Zion couldn't remember. But when we asked them what we did, that's when they really spoke up. And they were talking about how we roasted marshmallows and went to the Biltmore, and we roasted hot dogs. And that was very telling. It communicated just how much that experience meant. And they could remember very little about the material presents. So that was the beginning.
It was. Yeah. It was a big deal to us. It was really a big deal to have our eyes open. And so that was the first time. And it was a big deal for us because we went during a holiday, but it changed, it opened our minds to say maybe we could try it instead of doing the material things on birthdays and on Christmas and all those sorts of things. Let's try to do it on another holiday, birthday, and we did it for our oldest birthday, right? Is that right? I think so.
Yeah.
Because we took her to Disney World. Was that it?
Was it Universal Studios?
No, it was Hollywood Studios.
It was Universal, wasn't it?
We didn't do Universal until 2015.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See, point we're making is we've been changing our outlook on what we get our kids for their birthdays, for their holidays, for that sort of thing. Not to say that we don't take care of our kids. We do. We make sure that they have clothes and shoes and stuff, but they know that whenever a birthday comes up or Christmas comes up or even Thanksgiving, things like that, we tell them, okay, what would you like to do? And they come up with an idea of what they would like to experience, and we take it from there. And one thing I've noticed about our kids since we've started doing these sorts of things, they don't look for things so much as as a gift. They look for the experience. Our kids, now we've made it not a habit, what do we want to say, a tradition to go someplace on Christmas every year. And, you know, the idea of Christmas gifts doesn't even come into their heads. They think about the experience that they're going to have and the things that they're going to do once they get there. And the things they're going to see.
You still give them something, but it's usually not a huge material present. We give them something, but primarily the gift is the experience. Yeah.
Yeah, we give them, like, what did we do? We would give them fake pajamas.
We got them tablets.
We got them tablets one year, but
tablets
they were like, now let's be clear, they weren't like iPads or anything like that. We got them like little Android $20 tablets because they're not bill payers. So I'm just saying. Just saying. Anyway, I really think it's important to just be exposed to the idea or open to the idea of thinking of a different way or reasons or motivations for why you experience the world with your kids. I'll take it a step further, and then I'm thinking I've talked enough because I know the game's on.
You should share how you took the girls to Europe.
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
Okay.
That's where I'm going. So one thing to extend what I was talking about when it came to travel and how it changes the mindset of your kids and everything, I have been blessed to be able to take our kids to Europe whenever I would lead groups to Europe, like the one that I'm leading in 2019, and the information's on the page if you're interested yourself. But I took my oldest when she turned 12, and then we took our second born when she turned 12. For us, we wait until our girls are 12. And so we took them when they were 12. And actually the second trip I took with the girls, I also brought my mother along. And I have to tell this story about gifts. So with the trip, my idea of giving them a gift was to give them the trip, like my husband said, and he was all for giving his daughters, our girls, that trip. So I also wanted to extend it to my mom, who years ago helped send me abroad to go to school there. I went to school in France for a while. And I had promised her years ago, I was in my 20s, y'all. This is over 20 years ago. No, it was 5 minutes ago, because I'm 21. No, this is a while ago. But I promised her, I said, Mom, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but one of these days I'm going to take you to see the Mona Lisa. I'm going to take you to see the places that I'm going to go see when I go to school. And it's going to happen. She's like, okay, baby, what? I mean, she believed me, but she, you know. Imagine the feeling I had when I was actually able to surprise her Christmas before we went to say, Mom, I have a gift for you. And she's like, what? She's like, Mom, I'm gonna need you. I gave her a gift, and inside it had a plane ticket, and it said, get your passport. And she's like, oh, what's this? I said, Mom, next June, I'm taking you to Paris. And she just didn't believe it at first. I said, Mom, I'm serious. It took 20 years, but I'm taking you to Paris. So she cried, boohooed and cried. And so it was a 3-generation trip. Myself, our daughters, and my mom went to Paris. I took her to Paris and to Madrid and to London, and I stood beside her while she saw the Mona Lisa. And I said, Mom, you remember 20 years ago I told you I was going to bring you to see it? And she just cried. Well, I know I'm not going to get emotional, but I'm just going to say that was a gift for me and for her and for my girls to see, you know, our girls, to experience that, to say, wow, look, we're here on a trip, we're experiencing new things with our grandmother and our mother. And the girls, when they came back to school in the fall, they were able to share in their social studies classes. Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
You know, what I think our youngest was talking about, yeah, I went up. That's the Arc de Triomphe. She was, they were talking about Napoleon.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, yeah, it's the Arc de Triomphe. Napoleon built that. And the teacher looked at her like, oh yeah, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And she was able to say, yes, I've seen it. And it was really cool. And you can see all of Paris from the top of it. And it's in the middle of a big circle, the Star Étoile, Place d'Étoile. It's really nice. But it meant a lot to be able to experience that. It meant a lot to be able to share that. And it totally changed our girls' viewpoint on what is important.
That's actually, I think, is really the big thing about it is we wanted our kids to have more of a global perspective on things. You know, it was kind of like a dream that they would almost have the equivalence of like a master's in international affairs by the time they turned 18. So we noticed that they were, you know, that their frames of reference had widened and they thought about the world differently after those trips.
Yeah.
And so it, your kids will grow a lot, they mature a lot, and you know, it's, I mean, what they learn is like vast. It's just really amazing to see how much it benefits your family.
Yes.
And for Danielle to have been able to make good on that promise to her mom was awesome. And for them to be able to enjoy, I remember hearing about having tea in,
Yes.
where was it?
In London.
In London. Okay.
Right down, not too far from Westminster Abbey. That was awesome.
And the girls raved about the tea and everything. So,
Yeah, they did.
So it was fantastic just to hear, you know, how much they enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's been our experience, and in sharing that with you, you know, we just like you to be aware of it and know that this will be an experience that you would not forget.
No.
You would not soon forget, and you certainly would not regret it.
No, you won't.
are able to take your family abroad. It's fantastic.
It was especially amazing now that I look back, because my mother right now is battling breast cancer. And, you know, I'm just very glad that I had the opportunity to share that time with her. And I know that it's important to spend the time that you can with those that you love in the ways that you can cherish. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't mean to get emotional, and I'm not. My mother is actually doing very well, so
Yeah.
that is a blessing. But it was a definite wake-up call, and a reminder that some of the things that we think are important, like spending our money on the latest Xbox, or taking an opportunity to buy the nicest purse, though I do like bags and shoes. I do like bags and I do like shoes, and I you know, those are important, but yeah, I know, closet. I know, but I look cute though. I wear them. It's important. You don't want a raggedy wife.
No, you're not raggedy, baby, but wow.
Oh, but you know what? Hey, let's be clear. He's a peacock too. He looks nice. He can shine up too now. Don't doubt it. Hey, Carla. But
Hey, Carla.
So I just wanted to share that with you guys, and I know that's a bit of that's a personal story of ours that I thought was important for us to share. It's important for you to know that there are times when, yes, you have to work, because you got to be able to pay for the trips you wanted to make, right? That there's no getting around that.
Yeah.
But don't stray away or shy away from the opportunity to spend time with the ones you love. I think that's the bottom line. Travel has given us the opportunity to do that. when we are in a regular work week, we go to work, we come home, we help the kids with homework, we make dinner, we do the laundry, wash clothes, clean house, sign a couple of permission slips for our kids, make lunch for the next day, go to bed, get up the next day and do it all over. And that's not to say that the everyday isn't a precious thing, but sometimes just the opportunity to slow down and take the time to spend time with the ones you love without the distraction of the internet or the TV or your cell phones, which I am.
If you work big, you should definitely be able to play big. And,
say that twice.
If you work big, you should be able to play big. And
see, he's smart, man.
I will say this. It is surprisingly more affordable than you expect to be able to take your family abroad. You can do something like, you can do a cruise if it's going to be the first time you do it.
Yeah.
And you can still experience a lot. I would say that when we went to Cancun for our honeymoon, I was more interested in talking with the locals, and then we went for our second honeymoon, we went to Jamaica. And again, I was more interested in talking with the locals and talking with with the other people who were traveling. Because, the tourists, I could have stayed home and talked to them. But, to actually be able to interact, and talk with people from Jamaica, that was really cool.
It was very cool.
They took us with them to a club and everything. We had a great time.
It was great time. Had some fun. I have to tell you the story about what happened to bro man over here. It was funny.
Okay, we're not going there right now. But anyway,
he had some admirers. I'll just say that.
Okay, you know what? We're not going there right now. But I'll say that letting your kids have the opportunity to interact with people from other countries is really an experience that will help them to grow. Because they can experience the world just in one conversation. So.
Oh, that's such a great statement. Yes, experience the world in one conversation. Wow, he's just full of pearls of wisdom today. Look at you being all. Hey, Nicole.
What's up, Nicole?
So, yeah, I co-sign everything that you say. I think once you stop buying all of these hugely expensive, how much is an Xbox? Maybe about $400?
Something like that.
And a plane ticket is like what? Depending upon where you're going.
Yeah.
You could get a plane ticket to places really affordably too. Hey, Natasha. All kinds of things. So just leaving it here, we're going to end because I don't want to run our mouths too much. I don't want to run my mouth too much. My husband won't do that. I'm the one who's But we had a change of heart. That's what this is about. And that change of heart happened about 10 years ago. So in the 10 years that we've been experiencing, I would say maybe even 11 years ago. It's been a while. But in the years that we have experienced our change of heart, it has been a wonderful experience. It's completely changed our outlook, completely changed our priorities, and I think it's made our family all the more, it's made it richer. Yes. And that's something that I would never trade for anything. And I think the people who have been on this page, who have done the videos of their families and how they've traveled, I'm pretty sure they could co-sign with what we're saying too. And I'm not going to be foolish and say it doesn't take some planning and it doesn't take some budgeting, but it is possible. And you don't have to go to Bali.
To get a good travel agent.
That's why you need to get a good travel agent, yes. But if you budget, and you don't have to go to Bali. You can go to Washington, D.C. and take the kids to see the monuments. You can go to the mountains. You can go to the sea. You can go into your own city and see some things that will open your children's eyes. So, broaden your mindset about what travel can be. Understand your children will be enriched by it. And this page is where you can get all the information you need. Not just from me, but we can get it from each other. Because this site is about helping each other. Okay? Okay. Anything to say?
Have a blessed night.
Have a blessed night. Love you guys. Bye.